Hello, welcome back to Flawed TMI. Oh, here we go and out in beautiful nature. And I am so blessed and lucky and fortunate to be able to have this moment alone to be able to speak with you guys. And of course, it would not be Flawed TMI without I think that's a helicopter. So, you have our airplanes and helicopters. So, the beautiful life of the city. Today is I had wanted to pick a subject matter, but it seems as if that's not on my spirit today. On my spirit today, I kind of want to, I guess, have a private moment or public private moment. I was speaking with my sister today, and I love when I speak with her because there are times that she helps me to dig in places that I don't necessarily want to go. And sometimes it becomes such a self-awareness that whether I want to go or not is a place that needs to be visited. And I want to say thank you, Sandy, because it helps to peel back some things that, you know, over my life, I just kind of inorganically heal. You just get into your routine of life and you don't quite heal, but it does scab over, but it's not quite healed. I am beginning to dig into a point that I am now medicating it so that it can get the proper attention that it needs to heal. I have made numerous things that are, I don't know if you call it mistakes, because like I'll always say, there are no such thing as accidents. Some of the choices that I've made, if given the circumstances again, I probably would do it again. So it's kind of hard to call it a mistake, but I do sit back and see a lot of the way that is self-sabotage myself and gotten me to a place that I can't blame anyone else but myself for the actions that I've chosen to have done to myself. And I find myself, even in the process of healing, that it hurts. I mean, it really hurts. And I know that I'm healing because I'm seeing me. I can't run from the truth any longer. I'm seeing me. I know that a lot of people out there can relate and understand to what I am saying, because you get to a point that you don't want anyone to really see the raw, naked truth of you. We are good to hide ourselves, even from ourselves. And it's not a healthy environment for you, especially if you're a parent. It's definitely not a healthy place to do, because all you're doing, even though you feel, and honestly I felt to my core that I was not going to pass on all my negative traits and all my flaws. I really did not think I was going to pass it down. And little by little, I do see subtle hints of me. Not the ones that I want to pass down to my next generation, but I do see it. So I feel this platform is a way of me to discuss with them. And if anyone needs to seek out any therapy, we'll do it. But I need it to be placed out there, because we're not going to get any better by not addressing whatever our concerns may have been. And I hurt behind, I guess I'm going to call it loneliness right now, because when I sit back and I know that I look at past relationships and I wonder if I would have done anything differently, if that relationship would have flourished or not. They were not the ones for me, because I was so damaged that all I would have done was place all that negative energy to them, to a point that they would have sat back and, they would have done me harm, I would have done them harm, or we just would have just kept this vicious cycle repeating. And that's not my character. That's not where I come from. I mean, when I say where I come from, I mean the platform that I built for myself, because I was on all God honesty. I was not raised. That's God honest truth. I was always someone else's burden or problem. And when I got of age of being able to be out there, I raised myself. And you cannot give a loaded weapon to an immature, imperfect mind. And that's what I was, and to a certain degree still am. And when I sit back and I look at that, it really tears me down to my core, because when I have my alone moments, after dealing, and I hate to say dealing, please God strike that from my vocabulary, because I'm not dealing with my son. I'm loving my son, even when he has his meltdowns, and the words that come to me are the foulest words that you would ever imagine anyone would have tossed your way. And this is coming from someone who loves you and you genuinely love, but he is not this disorder. But some of the words hear my, when they hit my ear, he'll say, "You're useless, you're ugly, you're no good, I hate you." These words, I sit back, and as much as I look at, and the weird thing, I'm not looking at it coming from him. I'm looking at it, feeling it, knowing that there are times that when in the middle of the night, when I look at my lonely space, I realize I do feel useless. I feel ugly. I feel alone. And, oh my gosh, Teddy Pendergrass' song is playing in my head. It feels good loving someone when someone loves you back. It's like I'm speaking these words to you, but that song is just right there. And it does feel good. The only thing about it is I have a broken sense of the word love. There's someone that speaks to me and tells me that he loves me, he loves me, he loves me. And I hear these words, even though I know these are not coming from a place where I need them to come from. And when I say that, I'm saying that those words are not of healing. I don't even know if he knows what those words mean. We pass those words around like popcorn in a movie theater. We just pop it around, endless supply of it without there being any action behind the words. And it hurts me. It hurts me because I have been destroyed. I'm putting back pieces. And the way that I described it to my sister, when I had spoken with my sister today, I was like, I feel like a broken, shattered vase that you put it together, and then the next person came and it fallen again, and then they start to put the pieces back, but those were not the original way that it was placed. The original way was already broken before you even came onto the scene. This person has known me for so many years that he knows me in my original state. And neither one of us in all these years have done the proper work of healing. But yet, we seem to function as friends, but we get that mixed up in our heads because we sit back and we want, or we say the words that you're supposed to say when you love someone. When someone is walking down the aisle and they're looking for someone at the end of the aisle to say, "I give my life to you," we're saying those words with no necessary follow-up or meaning behind the words. And it just is breaking me down. And I'm telling you, I love to come out. I think one reason why I come out in nature is because if I do this in my home, I will be a blubbering idiot. I will be crying. I will be all over the place. And, even now, I'm just fighting that urge to break down because it just hurts so badly, because there's so many women and men that feel this way. We are willing to sit back and give the best of ourselves to someone who will not only destroy the best, but they're not even willing to give you a teaspoon of themselves. Not a true pure teaspoon, not an uncut teaspoon. You know, we're just going through the vicious cycle. And it's sad. It's sad. I have groomed myself to take the less than, because in my head I keep hearing, no matter all the accolades, the college graduate, all the different schools and all the awards and so on that I have received over my lifetime, I still hear the uselessness, because now the words are coming from me. The words are, even though these are words that were my foundation, I build these words up and given them a voice, a face, and a reason in my adult life. And it sucks, because I need to learn how to love myself. And it's not even just about self-esteem, because I feel I have the self-esteem for myself. I just know that I give myself my power. I give my emotion. I give my raw, authentic self. It's not the esteem part, it's the self. I am selfless of giving myself to not only to loved ones, but to family members, to people on the street. You know, I will walk up to a stranger and give them the last of whatever I have, just because it's on me, even though I know I didn't have it to give. And I have to learn how to find abundance in me, so that way I can live off of my overflow. So that way, you know, when you pour your tea in your teacup and it flows over into the saucer, I need to learn how to live off my saucer and stop emptying out my cup. I empty out my cup so much for people who just don't give a damn. And I realize that not everyone in my healing is going to be there at the end of my journey. There's so many people that if I call right now in my brokenness, is I sit back and say, hey, let's go turn up, let's go party, let's go whoop whoop this. They are there. They will sit back at a drop of a dime. Let's go do it, let's go. But when I sit back and say, I'm hurting, I need someone to help me talk this through. You talk through, it's a dialogue. By all means, just because I have this broken time to be able to speak without interruptions, that's not who I am. I am going to have that, when I have that moment, I want a dialogue. But there's no one that's willing to give that dialogue. So, you know, I'm hoping that this falls into someone's ears. Just don't give so much of yourself until there isn't enough of you. And you may not even feel it. It happens so gradually that it becomes a part of your routine that you don't realize that you are that broken, weakened self of yourself, that you don't even realize it. So I'm sending out love to everyone. Invest in yourself. Invest in me. And when I say invest, all we can do is just keep building up those dividends, because right now my emotion self is bankrupt. And I can't afford to do that anymore. I need that love. I am building up, so that love is going to find me. I'm declaring it to the universe. I'm declaring it to the world. God, hear me, because I am definitely, I will say it repeatedly, and all the things I've gone through, I am a God's child. Do not, like I said, do not break up my wild child, my craziness. Do not underestimate that I do believe by design, God put me in this body, in this space, in this mental state to be this person, flawed and all. It's not TMI. It's not too much. This is Tamora Monique's information. So if you like it, please thumbs it up, subscribe to it, put up notifications. We are going to dig deeper, deeper. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be painful. But on the other side of it, trust me, our investments will pay off.